This video is in partnership with Hooks and Needles. Stay tuned for more information at the end of this video. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be putting the Hooks and Needles subscription box to the test to see if it's really helpful for beginners to learn knitting or crocheting. So if that interests you at all, please continue watching the video. Okay, I have the box here with me. I also have a second camera going, so that way you guys can see the products up close and personal. So I haven't opened this box, I haven't looked inside. All I did was cut the tape here on the box to make it easier to open. So let's go ahead and hop into it because I am so excited to see what is in here. So there are actually three kinds of the subscription box. There's the knitting, crochet, and the amigurumi subscription box. I, for this month, chose the knitting, but if you guys are interested in seeing the crochet or the amigurumi boxes, please let me know down in the comments below and make sure to like this video so I know you guys enjoy this kind of content and I can test them out for the next couple of months if you guys are interested. Okay, so like I said, I got the knitting box and it comes with this booklet. And I know in the booklet, it tells you everything you got, so I'm going to skip that page. It also gives you a couple of patterns and things like that for the month, basically, which we'll go through that. First thing on top here is a double-pointed knitting needle, which is pretty cool. I personally don't have any double-pointed knitting needles, so that's interesting. This is a 3.5 millimeter double-pointed knitting needle. Okay, next is this circular fixed knitting needle in the same size, the 3.5 millimeter. So it's interesting. We have a set of circulars and a double-pointed in the same size. The yarns are what I'm very, very excited for. Okay, so we have three different colors here. And they're gorgeous colors, actually. They look so pretty. So first one here. Okay, this is the Hooks and Needles Merino Charm, 100% unshrinkable extra fine merino wool. It's made in Italy. And I don't see a color name on here. Just double checking. No, I don't see any colors listed on the yarn themselves, but I really like this kind of mauve color. And then there's this cream, and then this really pretty orange, really pretty peachy orange. Really like that. So three yarns. We have a couple of little things here. What is this? This is labeled Hooks and Needles. It's a twist top, okay. Like I said, I've not looked in here, so I don't know what this is. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Okay, it comes with some tapestry needles. We have three of them, so that's cool. Oh, I really like this. This is definitely going in my notions bag, this set of tapestry needles, because I love this component to hold them. Really, really cool. Okay, next thing, we have a little sachet, little bag with the tiniest little buttons. Just two of them, but they're very tiny. Okay, and then final thing is a pair of scissors. Very pretty. These are, let's see, stainless steel. Very pretty. They're like a bird, like a crane, I think. I see these a lot with embroidery and sewing and things, but these are really, really pretty. Very pretty scissors. So let's look into the book, basically. So we have the table of contents, just kind of showing us where everything is. And then we have the price breakdown of everything that we got. So, wow, okay. Very, very cool. And it tells us what's in the box. The scissors are actually worth $10, but we got them for free. Apparently it was a free gift. They're swan-shaped scissors. Very cool. Very, very cool. So the box, I believe, was maybe $38. I'll put the price on screen, but the total value of our box was actually $76.25. So definitely got everything for a good price. Wow, very, very cool. Oh, okay, here's the colors of the yarn. It's in the book. So This color is mustard yellow, not what I would have thought. This one, ivory, I can see that. And then the mauve is lavender mist. Okay, very interesting. So each month, I know the patterns change. So for this month, for instance, we could make a bag, we could make a little cup cozy, which I think I'm gonna do. That one looks really cute. And it looks cabled. Okay, I have really wanted to start learning how to knit cables, so I think I might do that one. And then here is this kind of cowl. A gradient scarf is what it says, which is still pretty cool. The bag is really gorgeous as well, but personally, I think I am going to do this cup cozy, this mug cozy for sure. So because there are 3 projects that you could do, they vary in skill level. So the bag is what's considered beginner friendly. The mug cozy is what is considered intermediate, which I think I'm pretty intermediate when it comes to knitting. And finally, the gradient scarf is what's considered advanced, which I can definitely tell just by looking at the picture. That looks very advanced indeed, very. Personally, I think I like the mug cozy the best, but honestly, they're all super cute. Also in the booklet, it has like a recipe of the month. So this recipe is actually cozy apple crumble, which sounds pretty good. I think I'll probably end up making that. And then in the back, it also has a knitting glossary for all of the terms and abbreviations that were used throughout the booklet. Another really cool feature with hooks and needles is that if you're having trouble understanding the project steps, there are pictures, but there's also a QR code to scan, and it will bring up a video to help you with your project. So if you are more of a visual learner, then that could be really handy as well. Okay, so now we have unboxed everything. I've got my yarn, which is so soft. It feels so nice. And we got a lot of really cool trinkets. I got some scissors, some tapestry needles, and a little holder for them. Needles, which this feels like aluminum, this double pointed knitting needle. And these honestly are probably aluminum too, but they're a much smoother aluminum. I really like these. And then our little buttons. So I'm really excited to start this project. Like I said, I'm going to start on the mug cozy. I think that's really cool. They have it to where you use 2 different colors, but honestly, I think I could probably just use one. Let's see, it says 20 grams of yarn total, and this gives you 50 grams of yarn. I think I'm probably gonna do, I think that I could make one for myself and one for each of my friends. I think that would be really cute. So let's get into it. I'm so excited. I've never made a cup cozy before, and I've also never knitted cables before, but I am very excited for sure. So I will take you guys along with me and let's hop into it. Okay, I am in a comfy spot. I have some water and a snack. I am snacking on Nerds Gummy Clusters. They're so good. If you've never had them, I definitely recommend them. I think I'm going to start with this lavender mist color. It's super pretty. It honestly kind of feels like the Knit and Crochet Superwash Merino wool that I've tried, but it's not shiny at all, and I really like that. I definitely like the feeling of this much better than that other yarn, and it was pretty expensive too, so. I've also got my pattern here with me, and first, of course, is casting on, so I'm just going to do that really quickly. It looks like for the most part, it's just knit flat, and the double pointed knitting needle is more of a stitch holder in the meantime, so that's pretty cool because I have never used double pointed knitting needles before to like knit in the round, so I was kind of worried how that was going to go, but honestly, I had nothing to worry about, I guess. But wow, these knitting needles are pretty long compared to other ones that I've worked with. Other knitting needles that I've worked with, I think are like 3.5 inches. These are pretty long, but that's fine with me. It's kind of like just more to grip onto. I do like, if you're unaware, with hooks and needles yarn, you can actually buy it separately. You don't have to wait for it in your box if you don't want to. If you're wanting to just try hooks and needles yarn, you can totally do that. Which I didn't know that you could just buy their yarn. You can buy like knitting needles and crochet hooks from them as well, I believe. I'll put it on screen if, if that's true, but yeah, it's pretty interesting. I did not know that you could do that. So I definitely think that trying out their yarn would be pretty cool. So if you guys are interested in that as well, let me know. I know I'm trying out this yarn today, but you know, yarn that doesn't come in the box. Okay, I'm just really quickly going to cast on. It doesn't say what method to use, but if you know me, you know I love the long tail cast on method. So that is what I'm going to do first, and then we will hop into me knitting. Okay, I have casted on my stitches necessary for the project, and now I'm going to jump right in. I have been wanting to try this Hooks and Needles subscription box for so long. I don't know about you guys, but I am constantly getting their ads for it on Instagram and even Pinterest, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it. I really want to try it. So hopefully this video is helpful to you guys as well if you have been curious about the box or interested in trying it. I really like the fact that it is like inclusive to everybody. If you have little crochet or knitting knowledge to like all of the crochet or knitting knowledge in the world, you can still like benefit from these boxes because they give you the 3 projects for the different learning levels. I think that's really cool. And I also really appreciate that they have written instructions with pictures as well as video instructions, because I'm pretty good about reading projects and understanding them, but also sometimes when it comes to learning new techniques or something like that, I very much need a like visual demonstration to figure out these things. So I appreciate like how thorough the instructions are, and like I said, how inclusive the boxes really are. I think that's really cool. When I was setting up this box and everything, it didn't ask me what my experience level was. It just asked, you know, what kind of box I wanted, whether that was knitting, crochet, or amigurumi. So I just chose the knitting, but I believe that you can swap between the 3 if you really wanted. And then of course you can cancel anytime or whatever, which is pretty cool. I don't know about you guys, but I hate like starting a subscription box and then they like hassle me to keep it instead of just like letting me cancel it. But I'm so excited that this box came. It was pretty fast shipping, honestly. I was pretty surprised at how quickly it came, but that could just be my post office that worked pretty hard to get it to me, but still. It was really cool. It shipped out super fast too. These knitting needles are actually very comfortable to use. I didn't think that, honestly, I would like how long they are, but really, they're pretty nice. It's like a lot of room to hold on to, so I actually really do appreciate that a lot. I love that they're metal, and the tip is a little, like, more blunt, I guess you could say, than other knitting needles that I've tried. But honestly, I'm not having any issue with the yarn splitting or anything like that, so it's not really a problem for me. But just in case you were curious. I'm curious, actually, I'm wondering, did this say how long this cable is? No, this packaging for the circular knitting needles did not say how long this cable is, which is fine. You could measure it if, you know. I could measure the cable if I really wanted to, but honestly, it's not a big deal for me right now. I'm always much slower setting up my knitting, like doing the first row, than I am after I've done the first row. But first row is always just so much like slower for me for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why. So I'm just doing my 2x2 ribbing, and I'm coming up on the last stitch, which is interesting. I'm doing 2x2, but I need to knit the very last stitch. So, done. Okay, this is what row 1 is looking like so far. Not bad, not bad. I really love this color, and like the feeling of the yarn is very nice. Okay, so I did my first row of ribbing, and now I need to do that for a couple more rows. So I'm just going to work on this, and I will meet you guys back when we start on the cables, because honestly right now we're just doing some 2x2 ribbing. There's nothing much to it, so I'll see you guys back when we get to the exciting bit. I'm very curious also to know how long this project is going to take me from start to finish, so I'll see you then. Okay, I just finished my ribbing. Looking pretty good if I say so myself. Honestly, I'm really liking these knitting needles. They're very smooth and the yarn is so soft, like truly so soft. Okay, so it says to change colors, but I think I'm going to do one in just this lavender mist color. It says that it only uses 20 grams of yarn total, and in the donut, they are 50 grams each. So you can make quite a few of these little cup cozies, which is crazy, but I really am enjoying this color a lot. I think it's super gorgeous. So now it says, like I said, to change color, but I'm not going to do that. But we are going to be doing the setup for the cabling, and I'm pretty nervous. Like I said, I've never knit cables before, but I think that this is pretty good to kind of like jump into it. It's a very small project, so that's why I wanted to do it like this. So that's why I wanted to do this cup cozy, because it is so small, but it is like a good introduction to cables for me personally. So I'm very excited for it. Like I said, I really enjoy how there are pictures through this book, through every step of the project. It's very nice to kind of be able to look and compare. So like I said, now we're just setting up our cables, and I'm kind of nervous, but so far I have all the confidence in the world. You could like totally swap colors. You could make so many of these things, but like I said, I personally am just making one solid color for right now, but I would like to mix and match the colors. You could make like 6. How many? You could make like 7 coffee cozies. Sorry, I'm not very good at math as I'm exposing that, but that's so crazy. They really give you so much. And I was looking, and those little buttons that were in that sachet from the box are used in this project. However, they are just sewn on. It's to make it look like little owl eyes. So I don't think I'm going to use the buttons on this project, but I do like that they give it to you just in case, basically. But I am really enjoying this project so far. And again, this yarn is so soft. I would love like a little cardigan or something out of this yarn. It is just so soft. I really enjoy it. Okay, setup row is complete for the cables. Now I get to turn the page of my project. I'm super nervous for the cabling, so now is where the double-pointed knitting needle is going to come into play. Like I said, I've never used a double-pointed knitting needle before, nor have I knitted cable, so this is just an entirely new experience. I noticed that the circular needles have the size engraved in them, or kind of printed or something. I don't know if you can really see that, but basically it just says 3.5 millimeters. It is engraved actually, but this aluminum one does not say the size on it. So, but that's honestly not an issue. You could just get like a knit gauge or a gauge ruler. A lot of times they have those like little notches in so you can stick the needle through to see what the size is. But yeah, I'm just going to work on this cable now. And if I have any thoughts or next progress check, I'll let you guys know. Okay, little progress check. You can really see the cables starting to form right now, which is so cool. This is the back side of it, and then I think this is the front. I'm not entirely sure. It doesn't tell you what's the right and what's the wrong side, but it's looking like this is the front, honestly, compared to the pictures anyway. But it's looking so good, and basically it's just a couple of rows repeating. So this is our little progress check on the cables. They're looking so good, and I'm really, really proud of how they're turning out, honestly. It's really crazy how good they look. Okay, I've been working on this project. I am about halfway. I just finished I think my last full cable, and then the top, and then the last one is going to be kind of like a half cable. But I am loving how this is looking so far. I'm so proud of myself. These cables look so nice and consistent. I'm really, really shocked at how they've turned out. They look great. Super, super happy with them. And this cup cozy is going to be so cute. Like, I can see it in the picture, but doing it in this full color, it's going to be so cute. But yeah, I literally am, let's see, I'm on row 15 out of like 36. So a little less than halfway, but still, like, it's actually surprisingly so easy. And like using this double pointed knitting needle, I thought that somehow we were going to knit it in the round, but I do wish that the double pointed knitting needle was like maybe half this size, because basically I'm just using it to hold stitches, and it honestly just kind of feels a little too long maybe. So if it were a little bit shorter, I would really like that, but honestly it's not bad using this like at all. It's not really hindering anything. But again, I would just maybe appreciate if it was like maybe half this size, because it is a little bit long, but I don't know if they make shorter double pointed knitting needles. I'd have to look into that. I know sometimes there's like those little plastic things that come in kits and things like that. I'll put a picture up on the screen of what I mean. They're like little handlebar looking things that people use to also knit cables. So maybe if you have something like that lying around, you could just use that. I personally do not, so I am using the double pointed knitting needle. But like I said, it's not horrible. It's not bad to use or anything like that. So I don't really mind it. It is just something to get used to for sure. But I've also seen where some people just kind of throw the stitches off of their needle and let them sit there and then like knit around them. And I would be afraid that I'd drop stitches and mess it up. So I am not going to do that. But again, it's going really well and working up super fast. And it really is giving me the confidence to knit my cables now, because if you guys didn't watch my To Be Made 2025 video, I made a Pinterest board of projects that I kind of want to make this year, or like techniques that I want to learn and things like that. And cables was one of them. And so far this year, I have not attempted them. So this project is very cool to get into cables because it is so small, but I am learning how to do them. Like right now, I don't even have to look at the pattern to do this row. I've already memorized how to do the cable. So I really, really appreciate that. Like I really am enjoying this project book, and the pictures are really nice too to look at. I have not looked up the video once to see it, but it is like very simple. It's going really well. I really, really am enjoying this process of the cables. So honestly, I've been really intimidated by them for years now, and I honestly had no reason to be, because they're turning out pretty well, if I say so myself. I really do like these. They're kind of like looking like hearts in a way, but that's my quick little progress report, and I'll get back to you when I start to do the 2x2 ribbing, which isn't too much longer. Okay, I had to rip back this koozie a couple of rows because I started doing the cables a little too long. As you can see up here, they're a little too long, but honestly, not a big deal. After I ripped it back, I think it looks fine. I did my 2x2 ribbing up top, and now it's time to cast off. And I was trying to do the Icelandic bind off technique. I've never done this technique before, but I know it's supposed to be very stretchy. So that's why I wanted to do it. It looks a little complicated, I think, but I don't know. I'm gonna give it a shot. So, but honestly, I also just wanted to come on here and say that I really enjoy this pattern. I really enjoyed working like with this yarn, and of course the needles are good. I like metal needles. I think they're very very comfortable for me and very useful when I'm trying to knit something like fast. Wow, this bind off actually is not that hard. I'm not doing a 2x2 bind off. I'm just doing the regular Icelandic bind off, but honestly it's not as hard as I thought it was going to be. Okay, looking pretty good. But I am definitely going to knit more of these little koozies. I think that this pattern is a very good introduction to cables because it's nice and small, but also at the same time, like, it's very thorough. I like the pictures, and again, it comes with a video, but the pictures and the explanation, like the written out instructions, are honestly not that hard to understand for me. So I didn't even use the video like instructions. I just used the written out and the pictures, and it worked very well. Here, I'm going to show you the bind off. Here's the little corner that I've done so far, and it's pretty stretchy, just like the bottom. Well, the bottom's definitely stretchier, but this is definitely stretchier than the traditional bind off method that I normally use. So I really wanted to give this bind off a try, but I am just going to continue doing this, and then we can finally seam up the sides, and then we'll weave in our tails, and then that'll be it. But it's looking so good. I really love it so far. Ugh, I'm definitely gonna have to knit up more of them. So after binding off with the Icelandic technique that I learned, I am finally able to snip my tail, and using my little swan scissors here that I was gifted. They are very pretty. They definitely are like what I would typically think are like embroidery scissors or something. You know, I don't know. Definitely like embroidery type sewing scissors, but they're very pretty. So, but they're very sharp. I use them to cut the tail, no problem. And this is me just tying it off. But I did use the tapestry needles, and I will say they are very sharp. I'm used to tapestry needles being blunt, you know? I don't really have any that are super sharp, so I kept kind of sticking myself while I was seaming up this project. So keep that in mind. I don't know. I'm trying to show you here how sharp they are, but they are very sharp. That's why they had those little rubber tips on them. But just keeping that in mind. I did find it a little hard to seam up my project just because the needle was so sharp. It was kind of splitting the yarn, which is weird because the needles weren't splitting the yarn. So maybe just keep that in mind. But I'm just seaming it up, and I'll meet you back with my final thoughts on the box. Okay, I have finished the cup cozy, and let me just say, I love it. Here it is. I put it on a cup so you guys could actually see it, but basically the bind off that I did was very stretchy. It definitely was the better option to do that instead of the traditional bind off, but I love it. I think it's so beautiful and definitely super easy. Like I said, definitely a good introduction to cables, especially for me as someone who has never knit cables before. Also, again, the yarn is so soft. I would definitely love a wearable out of this yarn. It is like super soft, but it is merino wool, so that's probably why. I feel like this is maybe a DK weight yarn, like a size 3 yarn instead of a worsted weight 4 yarn, but I'm not entirely sure because there's not a number on here or anything. It just of course has like the recommended hook size is a 3.5 millimeter, and then knitting needles is 3.5 to 4 millimeters. So other than that, I still have the ivory and the, what was this, mustard yellow, I think, the oddest color. And then this is how much I have left of the lavender mist. So definitely enough to make another cozy, or honestly even try another pattern. There's still, you know, the cowl or the purse, that I could make. Probably just like substitute other yarn. But I definitely want to make more cozies. I think that they are adorable and honestly so fun. I love the cables. Like, this definitely made me get over my fear of starting cabled projects. So I'm glad that I did this instead of like the purse or the cowl starting off. Okay, so now I think I'm going to go through everything you get in the box. The yarn, first off, 3 donuts, super soft. I definitely love this. Definitely recommend this. I really am interested in trying more of their yarns now. I think that would be really cool. So let me know if you guys would be interested in that down below. The tapestry needles. First off, I love this little component that they give you to hold the tapestry needles. I think it's very, very pretty. I'll definitely be putting this in my notions bag. The tapestry needles themselves are so sharp. I have never had a super sharp tapestry needle before, so I kept kind of pricking myself, but honestly, it came in the box, so I definitely recommend. I like them. I like the component, so give this a thumbs up. I did not end up using the buttons that came in the little sachet just because I would have had to sew them in. And honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of sewing things, but now that I'm looking at it, does this have... Yeah, okay, so this sachet does not have any thread to sew your buttons on, so you'd have to have separate thread in order for that, which is totally fine. I'm sure everybody can get thread. If not, it's like pretty cheap, but yeah, I am just not the best at sewing buttons on, so if I didn't have to do it, I wasn't going to. Plus, I think it looks pretty cute without the buttons too. It really like lets the cables have their moment. The double pointed knitting needle, good. Like I said, I do wish it was maybe half the size to knit the cables, but you could also use this to knit things in the round. That's typically what double pointed knitting needles are for, but I personally have never tried them before, so was not a bad experience. The circular knitting needles, on the other hand, very good. I loved these. They were so smooth. The yarn definitely glided off. I liked the cable. It was very flexible. It honestly is very reminiscent of like the ChiaoGoo knitting needles. It's like tubing and inside is like metal kind of twisted, so it's a very sturdy cable. I definitely like these circular knitting needles for sure, and they're very, very long. Like the needle themselves are very, very long, and I actually enjoyed that. I thought it was very easy to work on the koozie with. And then finally, the little booklet. Like I said, it comes with 3 different projects, so even if I didn't have enough yarn to do, you know, more projects, I have the patterns now, so I could always get more yarn and make them if I wanted to, so I really enjoy that. I love the knitting glossary. I did have to look at this in order to know what the cables were because it was a C4B. I'd never seen that abbreviation before, or the C4F, so I was very appreciative to see that it was in the back of the book. Really, really appreciated that. But yeah, and of course, I loved all of the written out instructions as well as the pictures. And I do enjoy the fact that they give you the video tutorial in case you need that and can't go off of written instructions with pictures. So overall, for the $38 I believe this box costs, I think it's definitely worth the money. Again, you get patterns that are for beginners, intermediate, and advanced. So there's something for everybody every month. And again, our total value was $76.25. So, you know, we got more than what I paid. So that is pretty cool. And since I did enjoy the box, since I enjoyed everything that I got, and I find it very helpful for everyone, no matter what stage of experience you have when it comes to knitting or crochet, I do have a coupon code if you guys are interested in trying it out. The company was nice and sent me a coupon code to share with you guys, so I will put it up on screen. It is KNITTEA20. Which is so crazy. I never thought I'd have my own coupon code, but full transparency, it is 20% off of your first box with hooks and needles, and I would get a commission off of that box. If you want to support me, support the channel, I would appreciate it, but not at all necessary. If you guys are interested in seeing another video just like this one, please let me know down in the comments below, as well as give it a big thumbs up, and I hope to see you guys back here Monday with another video. Have a great weekend. Bye!